uh, I'm assuming that, I guess I should set the scene. So we're in a tavern. The idea is that we're all kind of in a tavern. There's families here, so it's not like super late in the evening or anything. It's not super rare to see Hobbit children in with their parents, because taverns are a great place to mix with people and to talk and to get a bit of a chin wag in, connect with those people who you haven't seen. So, over by the fireplace, there's an elderly hobbit who's, very crouched over, but he has quite a glint in his eye. He's still got that youthful exuberance, and it's really coming out when he tells stories, and he is about to do such right now. He kind of motions around to get some attention. All right, children, come along, gather round. I have a story to tell you. It's quite a harrowing tale, so hopefully you've got your warm bowl of stew to keep you warm and healthy while you think of cold and dreary days.
I don't like the cold.
There are a few who do, and to be quite honest, young hobbit, you haven't experienced cold. No, there was a long time ago, the coldest winter in history. It was so frigid, if you'd lick a tree, your tongue would stick right to it.
I did that once.
Well, I wouldn't recommend it. It's hard to get it unattached. Well, but this winter, it was the coldest winter in all the land. Oh, it was the coldest winter in history. A thick blanket of snow covered everything we could see, up to our waists it was.
That's as tall as I am.
That's right. You'd be buried up to your poor little hobbit head. Haven't seen a snow like that in Hobbiton or anywhere else ever since. Well, it seemed like cold itself had made a home in the Shire and was covering it all to make it feel more comfortable. We couldn't leave our homes for fear of getting lost in the storm. Finally, the snow finished and we thought everything was over. We were used to playing with snowballs and making snowmen, and we were getting ready to enjoy what we could of this winter after the worst of the storm. And suddenly, we heard howls.
Howls.
That's right. Howls off in the distance. The river had frozen over, and the wolves were coming, baring their teeth and growling. And us hobbits, left poor and defenseless, we couldn't do naught but watch as they tore through the towns. A lone stranger came, and he fought them off with fiery missiles, which he produced in his hand. At least, so the tale goes. And cloaked men walked out from the forest and shot them with many arrows.
But how did they do the fire in the hand then?
It's not known, young hobbit, it's not known, but some say that hooded and cloaked stranger still walks among us from time to time. And if you'd like to be knowing more about the Grey Pilgrim, well, you could just ask that curious and cracked old Bilbo Baggins. He knows more about him than most do. But be careful, or he'll take you away on one of his adventures himself.
Master Bilbo scares the jeepers out of me.
And so he should. You'll get cracked yourself if you spend too much time with such a crazy individual.
That's what my dad said to me, too.
My uncle Freddy says that old man Bilbo has a dragon's hoard buried in his basement. Is that true?
Well, I couldn't say, as I've never been invited to the illustrious Bag End. I'm not quite as fancy as some of them fancy folk that live up in their fancy hills with their fancy stuff. But If you ask me,
let's get you home now, Mum.
there's more going on up there than meets the eye.